All right, let's go on to the next part of the lesson. I'm going to be reading for you the first page of our story. Remember, the story is 7th Grade by Gary Soto. I'm going to read you the story, and as I read, I'm going to do some things that strong readers do. You'll hear me stop sometimes and ask myself questions. I'll also stop and make predictions. Guess what's going to be happening later in the story. One more thing that strong readers do is if I see a word I'm not sure about, if I see a word I don't know what it means, I'm going to look at all the words around it and make my best guess about what that word could mean. Look at the clues, look at what comes before it, what comes after. And there's a really good chance I'm going to be able to not know exactly what it means, but certainly I can know enough to get a really good idea. And I don't really need to stop and look up every word I don't know in the dictionary. We've talked about this in class before. Who can tell me what we call this strategy? Yes. Right, that's right. Use context. So we use the context. We look at everything around it, and we get a really good idea of what that word could mean. Okay. 7th Grade by Gary Soto. On the first day of school, Victor stood in line half an hour before he came to a wobbly card table. He was handed a packet of papers and a computer card on which he listed his one elective, French. Ooh, elective. Some schools have electives, some don't. Do we have electives here? Yes, we do. Who can give me an example of an elective? Yeah, Spanish. You can take Spanish if you'd like to. You don't have to, but you can. You need to at some point, but you can choose when. So yeah, elective. You have a choice when you take it. He already spoke Spanish and English, but he thought he might someday travel to France, where it was cool, not like Fresno, where summer days reached 110 degrees in the shade. There were rivers in France, and huge churches, and fair-skinned people everywhere, the way there were brown people all around Victor. Besides Teresa, a girl he'd liked since they were in catechism classes at St. Teresa's, was taking French too. Ooh. Interesting. So he likes a girl named Teresa. And he liked her since catechism classes. That's a really hard word. Catechism classes. Now, I don't actually know exactly what it means, but I can see it's some kind of class, and it was at the school St. Teresa's. Sounds like a religious school. Catechism. Catechism, I can guess, is some kind of religious class. And my background knowledge, I know that it relates to a special kind of Catholic class. Okay, next. With any luck, he would be in the same class. Teresa is going to be my girl this year, he promised himself, as he left the gym full of students in their new fall clothes. She was cute and good in math too, Victor thought as he walked down the hall to his homeroom. He ran into his friend Michael Torres by the water fountain that never turned off. They shook hands Raza style and jerk their heads at one another in a salud de vato. Now that's a different language. Some of you, I saw some smiles out there. Some of you know that this is Spanish. And they shook hands Raza style. So it's going to be some kind of special handshake and some kind of salud de vato, some kind of greeting that they use with each other. How come you're making a face? Asked Victor. I ain't making a face, S.A. This is my face. Here's a fun one. S.A. Those of you who are taking Spanish here, you might not have heard this word. S.A. is slang. And does anyone know what it means? Yes, of course you do. Yeah, good. Dude, bro, informal, and again, slang. Michael said his face changed during the summer. He had read a GQ magazine that his older brother had borrowed from the bookmobile and noticed that all the male models had the same look on their faces. They would stand, one arm around a beautiful woman, and scowl. Ooh. Our next word here, they would scowl. They would sit at the pool, their ripped stomachs dark with shadow, and scowl. They would sit at dinner tables, cool drinks in their hands, and scowl. Do any of you already know the word scowl? Yeah? Who can show me an example of scowl? Very nice. We can all look at Ali right here. That's a very good scowl. Thank you. When I hear the word scowl, there's a movie with Ben Stiller. Oh, the title. But he has a look. Let me show it to you. I have a picture of it here. I'll put it up on the overhead. And yes, that is a really good example of a scowl. So even if we didn't know the word scowl, we can look at the words around it and make a pretty good guess about what the word could mean. I think it works, Michael said. He scowled and let his upper lip quiver. His teeth showed along with the ferocity of his soul. Belinda Reyes walked by me a while ago and looked at me, he said.